Hi everyone, I hope you're enjoying this beautiful day. It is very hot outside, so I hope if you are outside, you're not out for too long, all right? Have sunscreen, drink lots of water, and hang out in the shade. Let's start off with a calendar and today's date. So the month is July, the year is 2020, and today's date is Wednesday the 8th. Yesterday was Tuesday the 7th. Today is Wednesday the 8th. So what kind of things do you have planned for today? I hope some fun stuff. I hope you guys have had an opportunity to maybe go swimming, play outside, maybe have a picnic. So for today, you were supposed to, let's see, I think put something in your suitcase, put some money in your suitcase, or take money out. I want to go over money real quick. So there's a $20 bill. This is a $20 bill. There are many $20 bills in your suitcase. I would like you to count the amount of $20 bills. Tell me, how many $20 bills do you have in your suitcase? That is a $20 bill. You should have pennies in your suitcase, a nickel, some dimes, a quarter. I think some of you have $50 in your suitcase. Not all, but I think some of you do. I know I didn't have enough to put in all of them. Okay, quick review on money. This is a what? A dollar bill. This is a, how do we find out what this is, how much it's worth? We look on the corners of the bill. This is a $5 bill. And how much is this bill worth? You got it, $10. Okay, so today you were to look at your list of words and choose 10 words to make up a quick story. Doesn't have to be a long story, about your experiences at the beach. If you've never gone to the beach, then you can write a story about what it would be like at the beach. What do you expect at the beach? What maybe would you find at the beach? So the words that we have are ball, chair, coral, crab, flippers, we use this to swim, a mask if you're going underwater, pail, palm tree, sand castles. Wouldn't it be nice to build a sand castle? You can use your pail to build a sand castle. Sand dollar, sand, sandals. I bet everyone's wearing sandals now that it's summertime. I have mine on. A seagull is a type of bird that you would find in the ocean. A seaweed is also in the ocean. It lives in the water. A shell, you find many shells on the beach. A shovel, you have a shovel with your pail. A snorkel. A snorkel is used when people go snorkeling. They go under the water, but they don't go very far. They go just enough so that this tube, they put it in their mouth, and it comes out of the water, and they breathe with it. If they go all the way in the water, then water will get in the tube, and then it's not good anymore. They can't breathe. So they have to be like skimming the water. They have to be, this tube has to be above the water so that they can breathe. A starfish. Sunblock. Sunblock is something that you should wear if you're going to be outside. If you're going to be outside at all, you need to put sunblock on to protect yourself from the sun rays. The sun. The sun is very, very strong in the summertime. You could get burned, and that will make you sick if you get a sunburn. We have tubes. Who likes to use a tube when they're in the water, in their swimming pool? A surfboard. A lot of people use that in the pool and also in the ocean. Sunglasses. As you can see, I'm wearing sunglasses. Why do you think sunglasses are important to wear? They're just as important as sunblock. They protect your eyes from the sun. Umbrella. An umbrella is very important. Why is an umbrella important? Because just like sunblock and sunglasses, an umbrella protects you from the sun. Water. Waves. Waves are fun. and summertime. So pick 10 of those words and have somebody help you write down a story or create a story. I would like to read you a story about the beach. But it's not only about the beach, it's about a young man and he faces his fears. He doesn't like the water. And I'm not going to give away the whole story. It's called Down at the Bottom of the Deep Dark Sea. Now, when I was looking for a book to read for today last night, I came across this book and I opened it and I started reading it. And what's exciting about this book is I don't know if you can see, but it says enjoy exclamation point Rebecca C. Jones. So I'm like, wow, 1993. So it is an older book. And I'm like, wow, who is Rebecca C. Jones? Well, Rebecca C. Jones is the writer of this book. So she's the author of this book. And she autographed it. So I think that's really, really cool. I didn't know that she signed the book. All right, so let's get started. Andrew hated water, all kinds of water. He hated the water that poured into the tub. Whenever it started gushing from the spout, Andrew hid behind the towels and sang a loud song. There's Andrew. He's not very happy. Who likes to take a bath? I hope everybody likes to take a bath. It's just so good to take a bath. You feel better. Your skin feels better. You're nice and clean. You smell good. Everybody wants to be around you after you take a bath. Andrew hated the water that ran through the garden hose. Whenever other kids played in the sprinkler, Andrew sat at the front step and tried to stay dry. Look, they're having so much fun. She's got a tube. She's wearing a hat. A hat is also really good to wear in the sun. It protects you from the sun rays. Aren't they having a good time? And there's Andrew. He's selling lemonade, but he looks happy. He looks happy. He just doesn't want that water. He even hated the water that fell from the sky. Whenever the clouds started to rumble and the rain began to fall, Andrew ran inside his house. He never splashed in the puddle, and he never caught a raindrop with his tongue. I love getting caught in the rain. Do you like getting caught in the rain? Especially in the summer, because it's very refreshing. But what do you have to be careful of in the summertime when it rains? Lightning. Lightning is very dangerous. So when it's raining, if you hear thunder, thunder is a warning. When you hear thunder, that means a storm is coming and lightning is coming. So when you hear thunder, that's telling you that you need to get into the house. But the worst kind of water was the water at the beach. Far away, it looked deep and dark and very blue. Should you go into the water by yourself, ever? No, right? If you're going to go to the beach or a lake or in a pool, you need to go in with an adult, somebody who knows how to swim. Up close, it rushed onto the sand with a loud roar that made everyone jump and scream. Andrew's sister ran into the roaring water. So did his mother and father. They called for Andrew to come in too. Do you think Andrew went in the water? They're like, come on, Andrew. Do you think he should go in? I think he should go in. Even though he doesn't like water, I think he should try. But Andrew wasn't having it. He knew what would happen if he went near that roaring water. It would swallow him up, and he would sink down to the bottom of the deep, dark sea. And Andrew knew what he would find down at the bottom of the deep, dark sea. Pinching crabs and slimy monsters. Maybe even a hungry shark or two. Do you think that's what's gonna happen if he goes into the water? You think he's gonna sink? I hope not. That's why you need to go in with an adult. And you go where you can stand. So Andrew stayed away from the water. He started to build a sand village where it was dry and safe. He built 6 little houses, 2 small gas stations, and a teeny tiny post office. He put a leaf on a stick and called it a flag. He stuck the flag on top of the post office. Can you see it there? How very creative. Maybe Andrew will grow up to be an engineer since he likes to build things. The post office crumbled. "I know what's wrong," said a little girl who was watching Andrew. "Your sand is too dry." She walked to the edge of the water where the sand was wet. She filled her bucket with wet sand and brought it to Andrew. The wet sand stuck together, and Andrew built a larger post office. It was the largest sand post office he had ever built. He stuck a flag in the top, and it stayed fine. Can you see the flag? Then Andrew made a school, even larger than the post office. He built a big department store and an office building too. Wow, look how talented he is. He looks like he's having a good time at the beach, building sandcastles, and he made a friend. The little girl kept running to get wet sand, and Andrew kept building. He was building the largest sand city in the world. Wow, looks like they are a great team. They are working together. Andrew was just starting to build the world's tallest sand skyscraper when the little girl's mother said it was time for her to go home. Andrew tried to build the skyscraper by himself with dry sand. But what do you think happened with the dry sand? Yep, you got it. It crumbled before he got to the 3rd floor. What did he need? He needed wet sand. Andrew looked at the wet sand near the water's edge. He thought about the pinching crabs and the slimy monsters and even the hungry sharks. Then he looked at the crumbling skyscraper. Maybe, just maybe, he could hurry to the water's edge and fill his bucket with wet sand before the roaring water swallowed him up. What do you think? Do you think that Andrew is going to be brave enough to try to go to the edge of the water? Let's see. Andrew tiptoed to the edge of the water and scooped wet sand into his bucket. Then he ran back to his sand city. The roaring water never even touched him. Andrew ran back for more wet sand, and more wet sand, and more. Once the water touched his toes, once it caught him on the heel, and a couple of times he fell. But the water never swallowed him up, and he never sank down to the bottom of the deep, dark sea. So he was afraid for nothing. He was very, very safe. Andrew's sand city was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. People on the beach stopped to admire the sand city. "It's wonderful," cried a lady with pink sunglasses. "It's amazing," cried a man with a hairy chest. "Even the rooster thinks it's great." "It's wonderful and amazing," cried Andrew's sister. Andrew is all wet. Now, didn't Andrew hate water? Didn't he not like to get wet? Well, let's look at Andrew's face. Let's see. Andrew looks like he's having a great time. I know it's very noisy here. Andrew looked at himself. It was true. His toes were wet, his knees were wet, his bathing suit was wet, his chest was wet, even his hair was a little damp. Then Andrew looked at the roaring water. Out in the distance, it still looked deep and dark and very blue. The pinching crabs and the slimy monsters and the hungry sharks were probably still down at the bottom of the deep, dark sea. But up close, the water just looked wet and fun. So Andrew waded in the water and filled his bucket again. So as long as you're being supervised, There's a lifeguard on duty. As long as you swim where it's safe and you go in the water where it's safe, where there's people watching you, you will be safe. Wasn't that a great story? So I hope that you have the opportunity to use your bucket, your pail, and your shovel, and you are able to make some sandcastles of your own. And if you do, please take a picture. I would love to see them. Now tomorrow, I want to remind you, I made a mistake on the lesson plan, and I thought that our meeting was changed to 1:30. It is not. That's a teacher's meeting. I'm sorry for all the confusion. Tomorrow we will be having a Zoom classroom meeting, a virtual classroom session at 12 o'clock. I will send out reminders via email to all the families, and I will also be calling everybody tomorrow morning to see if you will be attending or not. I hope to see everyone. I miss you guys very much, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.